As the plane was on its last gulp of fuel, the captain made the decision to land on the waters. For legendsoffaith.org, I'm Rob Cutter. They were lost, and no land in sight. Eddie and 7 others were on board the B-17 flying over the Pacific Ocean. The plane had overflown its intended destination by hundreds of miles due to faulty navigational equipment. The 52-year-old ace was now a civilian and was assisting in the war effort. He had a secret message for General Douglas MacArthur from the president. As the plane was on its last gulp of fuel, the captain made the decision to land on the water. Despite the heavy swells, the plane skidded across the waters at 90 miles per hour. Once the airplane came to a complete stop, the crew tied 3 rafts together and inflated them in the shark-infested waters. Eddie had a new purpose after achieving success as a World War I pilot. It was clear that God had a purpose in keeping everybody alive. The food was scarce, and there was no water. The sun was extreme, and everybody had severe blistering and sunburns. And the salt water splashing on their skin made matters worse. After 3 days on the ocean, Eddie realized he would have to fortify the men's will to live by rekindling their faith in God. They began holding prayer services twice daily, in the morning and in the afternoon on those tiny rafts. One of the crew members had a small New Testament Bible, and they would take turns reading from the gospel. The dehydration was beginning to become unbearable. One of the crew members, knowing it was a bad idea, started drinking salt water. And it was just a matter of time. He died and was buried at sea. They had a glimmer of hope when they were able to capture a seagull and divide it up 8 ways, and saving some of it for fishing bait. A day later, they noticed a storm raging across the ocean. Eddie and his men put together a plan. They would use their rancid soaked clothing to gather rain and then wring them out in the bailing buckets to be used for drinking water. And then another miracle took place when mackerel began jumping into the rafts after being chased by a barracuda. After 18 days drifting at sea, they began to hear and see airplanes flying over. By day 20, the crew decided to split, reasoning that they would have a better chance of being seen by the airplanes. It wasn't long before their prayers were answered. All the survivors were rescued within days of separating. Eddie Rickenbacker completed his assignment and delivered his message to General MacArthur, which has never been made public. For more stories like this and for ways to donate, visit us at legendsoffaith.org.